Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Sagittarius in mid-September 2020. What is going on, Sagittarius? How are you guys doing? I hope that you're doing well. All right, friends, welcome to September. Wherever you are in the world right now, Sagittarius, I hope you are safe, happy, healthy, and secure. Please continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love. We're still dealing with this pandemic, friends, so let's all continue to love and care for each other, okay? All right? Sagittarius, a little bit of an apology. I started this series earlier this week, and I got an injury to my back because I am old. And I laid in a particular position, and it just totally just messed me up for like 2 days. But I'm back at it now with the help of a trainer of mine who reminded me, when you get injuries to your back that are muscular, use a lacrosse ball for acute pain or acute pain relief. It does wonders. Again, I'm not a professional. He is. Seek your own advice. You know, if you've never heard of that before, do your own research on it. But it works for me. So after about a day and a half of suffering, I had a session with him. He suggested what to do, and it worked like within 1 or 2 hours after I did it. Okay. Anyway, let's get into your reading. Or rather, let's get into the introduction to your reading. Sagittarius, anything you want from me, it is already in the description box. If you want the timestamp for when the reading actually begins, it's in the description box. If you want information on how to purchase a personal reading with me, it is in the description box. If you have a question before you place an order, email me at the same address. I'll answer you as soon as I can. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, that name is EmpathicFire Tarot. There is a link to that account or that page or whatever the hell you call it down there. You can get all that stuff in the description box. Also, I had someone reach out a while ago asking me about donations to the channel. I don't go on YouTube live. I don't do too many lives, so the super chat isn't really useful. So in the meantime, if you never catch me live and if you were interested in doing donations, I'm not asking, it's if you want to. That stuff is down in the description box. You can use the Cash App link or the PayPal link, okay? And if you do send over any donation money, please just label it, "Hey Jay, thank you so much," or whatever the hell you want to say. This is for a donation, okay? All right, guys, let's get into it. For Sagittarius, in mid-September, please. Messages for Sagittarius in mid-September 2020. Messages, energies, and insights for Sagittarius in mid-September 2020. Okay. That feels good, thank you. For Sagittarius, please, mid-September. The Hermit, or excuse me, Hermit, the Hierophant, my bad. The High Priestess, oh boy. Heavy hitters, Sag, heavy hitters. Ooh, yeah, they made me stop, so I'm going to take it. Because that just like, sort of, just was protruding. Alright, let's see what's going on for you, Sagittarius. Hierophant, High Priestess, and Two of Air, aka Two of Swords, Equilibrium. Hierophant, Major Arcana for Taurus. You could be dealing with a Taurus, but you don't have to be. High Priestess, Secondary Major Arcana for Cancer, sometimes also associated with Pisces. You do not have to be dealing with any of those signs that I mentioned. It's still a general. Please take it all with a grain of salt, okay? And the Two of Swords, aka Two of Air in this deck. Equilibrium. Alright, so I think I mentioned this in your monthly reading, and it feels a little residual to that. There's some enriching awakening or realization that you're coming to. There are shifts happening in your life, Sagittarius, that feel very profound, and they're affecting you in deep ways that you're kind of not able to recognize or appreciate or understand or reconcile with. In some cases, you might feel super duper 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 out of your element, out of your normal, flowing, go with the flow, just chill atmosphere. I feel like there's a rumbling, and it's not a negative rumble, but some of you might be viewing it that way because it's not understood, or it's coming up in certain instances and conversations, and you're just like, I'm starting to feel uneasy here. Why do I feel uneasy? And again, I think it's coming from a spiritual thing, because you've got two cards, two heavy hitters of spiritual influence in your life and in the tarot, right? So the first is the Hierophant. This could be represented by an outside person, as on this card we see a depiction, an approximation of the Dalai Lama. So that's a spiritual leader, and that kind of is the traditional understanding of this card anyway, because normally you're seeing a priest give out information or give some type of insight to his monks or his disciples, right? So if it's not someone that you know personally, again, it could be a friend, it could be a counselor, could be a religious figure, could be the Dalai Lama himself, right? But it could just be a mentor to you, someone that you look up to. But regardless of where this is coming from, an external source or an internal source, I feel that you're looking for guidance. What's that called? What's that called? A ship looking for dry dock or dry land or something like that? Like, I feel like they're showing me like stormy seas and a boat that's just like, getting tossed around, like a shipping boat, or even like a personal boat, or like a little speedboat, a yacht or something like that. And there's a storm. There's like a hurricane. There's hurricanes right now, big time. And just this boat just needs a safe place to throw down anchor, right? I feel you're needing that. Some of you, that might be correlated to your actual circumstances. And if so, again, Godspeed. I wish that you're safe and happy and healthy. That's always my wish for everybody that I do readings for. So, that's the most that I can offer to you in this very non-specific reading, because it's for a general group of people. But more to what I think is going on, if that's not your physical reality, that you're displaced in in a living situation, or you're in the middle of a storm in your personal life, I think that you're in an emotional storm or a spiritual storm, Sagittarius. It feels like you want guidance, possibly direct from source. And that's great. I advocate that. I advocate that so hard. However, I think, there's some in this group, and it's not for everybody, who have direct link to source, whatever you believe that is or don't believe that is, okay? You have it, but you don't believe you have it, right? And that's not the traditional understanding of the Hierophant, because the Hierophant is usually representing what I playfully call the middleman. Bodies of power in this physical world that can sometimes purport, claim to have access to source, to some higher authority than themselves. I'm not going to get into the whole, historical significance of that, and why the Hierophant card, I feel, is one of the most sneaky, powerful cards in the tarot deck. But whatever. What I'm sensing is you might be looking for someone to give you validation and say, hey, Sagittarius, what you're feeling is correct. How you're perceiving your situation is correct. The gifts, the natural gifts that you have, or the intuition that you have, it's on point. You're looking for someone outside of you to tell you that, when maybe you don't need it. And that's sort of, kind of, for me, one of the biggest revelations any person can have, inside or outside of any religious or spiritual belief. Not that we should all be running around like megalomaniacs and thinking that we're all, top dog, or we're all, my point is this. If you're looking for recognition, in some cases, maybe some of you are looking for salvation, redemption, something. There's something in you that you're looking for, and you think you need someone else to tell you where to find it or how to fill that space. But you already know intuitively on your own. You don't need the middleman, whatever it may be, whoever it may be, to tell you. Meaning, and this is kind of silly to say, you don't need this reading. I appreciate you being here. I would hope that you would watch from beginning to end, but you truly don't need it. Or if you're getting it now, if I'm telling you things that you need to hear, or that you've been wanting to hear, and you feel somehow aligned, or somehow, like I said, validated, in Scorpio, Sagittarius, you're on track. Whatever you're pursuing, whatever you're looking for guidance on, or whatever bits of enlightenment that you're not sure are bits of enlightenment. In some of your cases, like I said earlier, I mentioned the word gifts. Some of you have natural gifts or talent related to spiritual or esoteric work. Mysticism, right? You could be clairvoyant, clairvoyant, thank you, clairaudient. You could be a tarot reader. You could read crystals or runes, or you could be a pastor. You could be an imam. Whatever you want to do in that respect towards this, world beyond our, primary senses. If you have a natural skill or talent or connectivity to that, don't deny it. Embrace it. It's there for a reason, in my estimation. And that's confirmed because you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about purpose. The Hierophant is fulfilling a duty, fulfilling a role, right? Even if that role, again, historically was a little questionable. Okay, I'm not going to get into it. But and even today, it's still a little bit questionable. The role is significant, connected to source, connected to a higher purpose. That's a role. That's a purpose, right? And then the Hierophant's emphasis, or the I guess the real mission of the Hierophant, is to turn it into practice, to turn it into something that is sort of certifiable or real, almost tangible in the 3D experience. It's quietly powerful, I find the Hierophant. And then I say quietly powerful, and then we come to the High Priestess, the second card here. So you already know. Again, some of you are looking for people to tell you. High Priestess is another source or another person or entity that we often call upon without knowing we call upon her. And I say her only because there's a female on the card. It doesn't have to be a female. You don't have to be a female. There's no gender in a general reading like this. So I feel 2 times it is confirmed that Sagittarius is seeking, and that's your whole bag. Your 9th house ruled by Jupiter, seeking, voyage after voyage after voyage, trying to understand this world and other worlds and this consciousness and other consciousnesses, I guess is how you would say that. You're always seeking to know, to figure out, to debunk in some cases. Maybe you want to disprove something, right? Maybe the proof that you need is going to prove your argument against something. I don't know. But that is going on here. So the Hierophant seeks it in the 3D world. Again, seeking that validation. I think I mentioned in your September reading, I could be wrong, so don't quote me. But it feels like I did say this, that maybe some of you are like watching or reading or listening to somebody else's work. Not me, the tarot reader, but like a super duper professional, right? So like a Deepak Chopra or something like that. You know, okay? Not saying it has to be that person, but he's like huge, right, in this realm, right? He's huge, and people listen to him every day, buy his books, listen to his audiobooks. I'm assuming he might do a podcast. I don't know if that's true. Watch him on tape, all these things. And he's a guru, right? He's a certain guru, Dalai Lama, religious figure, but also kind of a guru. So you might literally be looking for people in your physical world that you don't necessarily know personally to give you insight into what you already intuitively know. If it's not a famous person, you'd be seeking this from a therapist. You might be seeking this from your P, what do you call it? Your PO, your probation officer. Like if you just got out of jail and you're trying to find your way, you might be, it's someone of authority. That's the point. It's someone of authority, someone that you think knows more than you do or has more insight than you do. And I'm letting you know, you already have the insight because of the High Priestess. The High Priestess is your intuition. It's personified, or it's given like this other, I've said this before about this card. It's one of the cards that really gives me a lot of confusion or confliction because it's like existing in 2 places at the same time, which, to a human being is not possible, right? The same consciousness or the same thing, your own intuition, exists both within you and without you, inside and outside of you. Your intuition exists here in this realm and possibly exists in another realm, in another state of consciousness, in another place in time and space, whatever. And that is what I think this card is representing. You know what you know, but you don't know that you know it. Because again, there's some self-doubt here. There's some element here where you're in disbelief, or you haven't really pieced the puzzle together just yet. And the High Priestess, I think, is coming to nudge you into trusting your intuition. Again, it could be embodied or personified by another person. These anonymous pair of hands on the internet, maybe I'm cluing you into some stuff. I would love to be a facilitator for that. I don't ever put my importance and my work above anything else that you can do on your own, or anything that you don't necessarily believe in. So I never try to say I'm the best and I'm the person for you. If you think I am, cool. If you don't think I am, that's also cool, right? But there's something where between these two, confirmation, wanting to be sure. But the thing about the trick here is you have to be unsure in the middle of your uncertainty. You have to believe in what you feel, even though you can't see it. Believe what you feel, even though you've never heard it before. There's something about that going on here. And again, kind of on the nose. Again, I'm not promoting myself, but this person is sort of kind of a tarot reader, some type of mystic, because she's more than that. Oh, what did I just say? Again, I'm not trying to say it's me. And if it is me, I'm honored to do the work, and I'm happy to provide the message to you. But look, she's dressed, like a regular human, regular old lady, doing a tarot reading. But look what's behind her. There's a doorway, there's a gateway behind her. So this could be, again, someone outside of you, a tarot reader, somebody who reads palms or is a psychic. They could work with runes, they could work with scrying, whatever. They could be a gatekeeper or a catalyst, maybe that's a better word, a catalyst for you to get to this point, right? Again, if it's me, great. If it's not me, that's also great. However you get there, I want you to get there. Now, final card in your opening spread is the Two of Air. So there's a crossness, interesting, okay. There's a crossness here, or a crossing point, or what do you call that? A crossroad, thank you. They keep giving me this, like a big old X in front of my face. So there's something here that's not necessarily computing. There's something here that's not necessarily making the most sense to you in the situation. Again, you got to believe even though you can't see. You got to believe even though you can't hear it. And that is a hard thing for most people to do. Nothing to do with you being a Sagittarius and watching a general reading in the latter part of 2020. That's just human beings, period. So there is some resistance you have or other people around you have to whatever we were talking about for the past 20 minutes or so, right? Someone, could be you, is calling BS on this. And I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to deny that someone is valid here as well. If it's you, it's totally makes sense, because we all have these inner conflicting moods or moments in life. I've been doing this for a while now, reading tarot, and sometimes I'm just like, is what I'm doing even like worth it? Is it even impactful? Is it even true? And then there are days I'm just like, of course it's true, Jay. You've seen it in action. You know it's true. So the self-doubt is natural. I get it. If this is doubt coming from another person or people around you, maybe that's it. Because you do have, with the Hierophant, you do have a little bit of a, how can I say it? Like a hierarchical relationship, potentially. So society at large might tell you, this is not kicking. This is not the way to go. Your family might tell you, this is not cool. We're not down with you doing this exploration of self, or this exploration and sort of analyzing or studying up on your spiritual life, or the ways in which we raised you in or outside of religious belief. Something like that. There's a question question mark over all of this. There's so much uncertainty from all of this, and it's either coming from you or from another person or people or from both. And if it's from both, that's very tough to deal with. But I'm telling you, and I think I told you in your monthly message for in the entirety of September, that's what was going on. So you're having a continuation, I think. Let's see further information into this situation for Sagittarius, please. Additional information in this situation for Sagittarius. Adjustment. That's justice. Temperance. There you go. Oh, wow. I'm going to get one more. Give me one on the Two of Air. One for the Two of Air. Clarify the Two of Air. Why is the Two of Air here for Sagittarius, please? Oh my gosh. Sagittarius, who are you? It's not a fight. It could be. But you're in some type of struggle, some type of strife with other people or another side of yourself. If it's not another person, it's just you. Regardless, clarifying, not intending to clarify just these two cards, but because they kind of just fell to the table like that, that's how I'm going to take it. So the Justice card and the Temperance card, but Justice in this deck is called adjustment, which is fair because that's what justice is all about. Justice is about setting wrongs to rights, or whatever it is, whatever that phrase is. Basically making sure that everything is balanced, everything is equal, everything is fair. And then Temperance, that's your major arcana card, Sagittarius. Both of these speak to finding the balance, in some cases, maybe you need to find middle ground with a person. If this isn't about your spiritual uptick or any type of awakenings or any type of reevaluation of what you believe in or do not believe in and all that stuff, if it's not about that, this has been about you realizing your own impact, or that you have more direct effect in your own life, regardless of what other people have told you, regardless of what other people have validated for you or affirmed to you. You are the maker of your own path, right? And in that realization, to know that you're powerful, or to know that you have access to power, because what did I say earlier? Access to source. I don't know about you, but whatever you believe in as the great being above, or whatever you conceive to be outside of Earth, I call it universe, or sometimes source, right? That in itself is powerful. Even if you just contemplate what the universe is, or even what our galaxy is, it's a bunch of power. If you think about it, I don't want to go on too much of a tangent here, but if you think about it just from the physics of it, there's so much power out in space. And if we come from space, or we come from some place that we can't see with our own naked human eyes, and we tap into that place, tap into that source, tap into the great universal energy force that exists, that means we are power too, right? And what do you do with power? The electricity that's powering that laptop, that camera, that microphone, these lights above my head, all of it has to be balanced. It has to be, what is that, alternating current? If it fluctuates one way heavier than the other, it becomes imbalanced. And you trip wires, or you trip fuses, right? So that's what's going on here. You seek balance, you seek temperance. You seek for things to be fair, for things to equal out, for things to be... I don't think you want any more or any less than what is fair to you, what is due to you, what is helpful to you, because that's the other thing. This is balance, again, or adjustment in this case, justice. What is fair? And how does it relate to the overall health of myself or other people in this situation? What is the most healing? the most prosperous, the most loving or helpful thing, outcome, pathway forward, whatever you're seeking. If you want information, if you're like, and it could be this, if you're looking on, I'm going to use a terrible analogy, and I don't mean to offend anybody's beliefs, but if you're looking at religion, religious figures, religious texts, and sentiments, or excuse me, not sentiments, but tenements, or tenets, I should say, tenements. Tenets. I was like, oh my god. If you're looking at religious tenets, what are the individual scriptures say? You're sort of kind of looking for what horse to place your bets on. And I don't mean that in a dismissive way. That's just one of the ways that I conceive of it. All right, well, place your bets. Judeo-Christian beliefs, Eastern religions, Buddhism, Taoism, Hinduism, whatever you're doing, researching, thinking about, you want it to have the best outcome. You want it to be what is most enlightening and supportive to what you need to feel healthy, to feel balanced, to feel secure, to feel loved and supported, and just well. Maybe some of you are coming from a place where you were so unwell. You were not healthy in however respect in whatever area of your life, and you're seeking a healthier, more vibrant solution. Now, clarifying this Two of Air or Two of Swords, we got the Two of Fire, aka Two of Wands, domination. So I'm asking, what's going on with this inflexibility? What's going on with this denial or this disbelief or whatever this is? And it's domination, control, right? I feel some of you, maybe in your childhood, because I'm according to my analytics, I'm talking to adults. Everybody who watches my channel, according to my statistics, is over the age of 18. So I feel I'm dealing with people who, in their adult life, are still dealing with issues of control from other people. I already mentioned that is possible with the Hierophant. And maybe that would be why you're seeking validation or affirmation from people outside of you. If you've been, to a certain extent, controlled or influenced, or people have always had certain strong opinions that have influenced how you have behaved, you still would be conditioned to be seeking that, even though you want to be away from that. Does that make sense? If you've had controlling parents, controlling partners, if you've always been influenced by your siblings or people around you in your workplace, in your church place, wherever you are, whatever you do, and you're seeking to be more autonomous, seeking more to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and make your own decisions and decide how to pilot your own life, you would be unconditioned or excuse me, you would be an amateur at being able to make those decisions for yourself, or be confident in it at the very least. To be confident and assured in whatever. I'm not going to get too much further into the list because we're pushing it. So one card of advice for Sagittarius. If this isn't your story, by the way, a half hour into it, it's not your message. But for those where it's hitting, I don't know you personally. I just feel like you can do this. I've been giving this message for several signs for the month of September. You can do this. All right? One card of advice for Sagittarius in mid-September. One card of advice for Sagittarius in mid-September, please. Am I going to have a cup of tea? My voice is my throat is kind of scratchy. Oh, beautiful. Joy. Beautiful. Yes. 9 of water, aka 9 of cups. In this deck, it is referred to as joy. Look at that. School of Dolphins. Now, wow. I like this. Okay. So they immediately just want me to jump on the image of this. Look at these dolphins. I'm not an expert. I'm not a zoologist or a biologist, or in this case, a marine biologist. But what I understand about dolphins, they're incredibly intelligent and they're incredibly social creatures. So I'm getting immediately You need to recognize your spiritual family, whether that's people that you know in the physical world that you see every day, or people that you only talk to on the internet, people that you only see in like a spiritual retreat that in 2020 is going to be done via Zoom, whatever. If you're needing to meet your spiritual family, seek them out. Literally, get down in the comments of this video, hey, I'm seeking a spiritual home. Anybody got, you know, a couch I could crash on? Now, if that's literal, you need a literal house to crash on, I don't mind you reaching out on my channel, but, you know, again, that's a different type of struggle. But this reading has mostly been about your spiritual well-being and how you feel in that context. I feel some of you, I know dolphins aren't fish, but some of you are feeling like a fish out of water. Like, I've never in my life thought about these things. I've never in my life challenged these beliefs of mine or the beliefs I was brought up in. I've never pushed back on people who were critical of me or who tried to influence me to do X, Y, Z. And this is all brand new territory to me. Who are my people? How do I find them? I mean, if you know, there's a lot about the current day and age that we live in that we can complain about. First world problems, perhaps, that we can complain that social media is hurting our societies, and to a degree that's true. But in terms of actually finding people who are similar to you and not feeling alone in the world, I find that unfathomable. Because of the speed at which and the consistency at which we can find people of similar value, of similar mindset, of similar conviction at the drop of a hat. No matter how fringe you are, no matter how strange your ideas might be, or how you just might feel like an odd duck, even though there's plenty of odd ducks who think the same thing that you do. And it's not even offensive territory, or it's not even, you know, quote unquote crazy, you know? Like, some of you literally have never thought of becoming a part of a tarot community. Tarot community is huge, number one, and it's different. You know, everybody has their different values and different ways of reading cards and all that stuff. But there's a connectivity in this group or in this community. Some of you didn't think so. Some of you just thought it was a one-on-one thing. It's beyond. But anyway, I don't want to ramble on about this. Sagittarius, this is your reading. If you found value in it, please hit the like button. If you found something here that resonated with you, please leave a comment. Feel free to share the video with other people that you know who might, you know, get something out of this. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Doing any and all of those things helps me continue on as a reader here and keeps the videos and the content and the channel up in the algorithms that YouTube has here. So if you want to help me out in those ways, that'd be super cool. If you want to do a donation, again, you can do so with the links down below, and you can order a video by looking at the information that's down below as well. Sagittarius, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. Take care.